flexed its muscle once again in Week 14 to move the game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Chicago Bears to the Sunday Night Football time slot on NBC. Therefore, for a second straight week, a West Coast team will get a break and a later start time for a game in a different time zone. The Rams are a 3-point road favorite, as opposed to the 3.5-point underdog they were last week. The Rams are back in the Midwest for a second straight week after playing Detroit, so this is a tough travel spot. With Mitchell Trubisky expected back under center for the Bears, this line hasn't moved at all, as most sportsbooks have -3 with extra juice on the road favorite. The total on the game is set to 52 points. It has been a phenomenal season for the Los Angeles Rams, and it got even better last week. The Rams won the NFC West and also got some help from the Dallas Cowboys in the fight for the top seed in the NFC. The Rams are now one game clear of the Saints, whom they lost to earlier in the season. Los Angeles is 11-1 straight up, but just 5-2 against the spread. Sean McVay's team is as strong as was expected in his second year. The Rams have 6 overs and 6 unders on the season. It seems like the Rams have somehow been overshadowed this season. The Chiefs and the Saints have gotten a ton of national love, but the best team in football in terms of wins and losses is the Rams. Led by Jared Goff and Todd Gurley, the Rams are third in yards per play with 6.7 on the season. Only 3 teams have fewer turnovers than the Rams. The Rams are second in net yards per pass attempt and 6th in yards per carry. There are not many flaws with this offense. The only real question going forward for the offense is how Gurley's workload is managed with the playoffs on the horizon. Defensively, the jury is still out a bit. The Rams have allowed 5.1 yards per carry, which ranks 30th in the NFL. Forcing turnovers have covered up a lot of flaws, as Los Angeles has 22 takeaways and a +11 turnover margin. The Chicago Bears don't exactly have a premier offense, but they do have a premier defense. The fact may be obscured by an 8-4 record to the over, but the Bears have 30 takeaways, and that has created a lot of short fields on offense. Chicago has been a strong team to back with an 8-4 straight-up record and the same 8-4 mark against the spread. This is the first time that the Bears have been an underdog since October 21st, when they played the New England Patriots. Chicago lost against the spread last week for the first time since their game against the Patriots. The expectation is for Mitchell Trubisky to return this week after missing a couple of games to tend to an AC joint sprain. Trubisky has a 20-9 touchdown interception ratio in his 10 starts with a 65.4% completion rate. Chase Daniel filled in admirably and led the comeback drive against the Giants, but it would certainly benefit the Bears to have their starter back. Regardless of who is taking snaps, Tariq Cohen will be a huge part of the equation. Cohen has 7.3 yards per touch on his 133 touches, which is just about double what Jordan Howard has managed. Howard is more of a runner, but even with 3.4 yards per carry, he's been less effective there as well. Cohen makes a lot of sense against the Rams to slow down that pass rush and get the ball out quick to avoid Aaron Donald. The Bears are set up in such a way that the offense just needs to be good enough and not turn the ball over. The Bears' defense is relentless. Khalil Mack has 9 of the 37 sacks this season, but the development of former Georgia star Roquan Smith and the play of cornerback Kyle Fuller cannot go unnoticed. Mack grabs the headlines and the highlights, but Smith leads the team in tackles and Fuller has 18 pass breakups. Akeem Hicks also has 13 quarterback hits, and Eddie Jackson has morphed into a star. The NFL made a good call to flex this game into primetime, as it undoubtedly looks like the best game of the week. The Rams do have the unfortunate circumstance of being back out on the road for a long trip. Even more unfortunate is that Soldier Field isn't covered and climate controlled like Ford Field. The early forecast shows clear skies, but the cold temperatures and the wind could have its effect. You'll want to keep up with the latest, as any December game in Chicago has the chance to go off the rails thanks to Mother Nature. But the Bears should be in their element here. The Rams are most definitely not. As a result of the bad spot for the Rams and the strength of this Chicago defense, we'll take the upset here with the Chicago Bears to win both straight up and against the spread. And we'll also take the total under 52 points as the Bears keep pushing towards their first NFC North title since 2010. For more information and statistics on this event and every other sporting event this week, check out bangthebook.com. Bang the Book is your best resource for sports betting information before you make your weekly assault on the sportsbooks.